I put my... So sorry, everybody, that's a little bit dim right now. I am currently in a yurt on location in Joshua Tree, California. I'm actually my sister is about to get married, so we'll be doing that in a little bit here. But I'm going to just start by... I really wanted to get my Oscar predictions out. Now that I've actually seen pretty much everything on the list. Well, I shouldn't say everything. Most things on the list. I haven't seen a lot of the shorts, but we'll go through and we'll do my predictions real quick. So, actor in a leading role, we have Javier Bardem for Being the Ricardos, Benedict Cumberbatch, Power of the Dog, Andrew Garfield, Tick, Tick, Boom, Will Smith, King Richard, and Denzel Washington, The Tragedy of Macbeth. This one's really tough. All of those are good performances. The big problem is that none of them are truly amazing performances. If I had to guess, what I should say, I feel like Benedict Cumberbatch should get it. He was really, really good in Power of the Dog. A very subtle performance that was really, really nice as part of that movie. Andrew Garfield, I feel like, could be the outside pick for the people who, because of, he's playing a character that exists, and also because he's a famous musical person that might get it. But I would say Denzel Washington for Tragedy of the Macbeth, I think, is the most likely. I think it's an easy pick. Other than that, Javier Bardem is another one of those where he did a good performance playing a person. I don't think he was a very good version of Ricky Ricardo, but it was fine. Desi Arnaz. He was good. I finally watched that movie today, and it was just okay. I think that I would have to guess it'll be Garfield or Washington, I think Washington's the biggest choice. I think Benedict Cumberbatch is the right choice, and Andrew Garfield is the outside. All right, best supporting role: Kieran Hines for Belfast, Troy Kotzer for Coda, Jesse Plemons, Power of the Dog, J.K. Simmons, Being the Ricardos. Also, I have a nice whiskey that I'm enjoying for this, and Cody Smith McPhee for Power of the Dog. This one's a tough one. I feel like Kieran Hines is the easy choice. Both him and Judi Dench were just absolutely wonderful in Belfast. They both gave, good, nuanced performances that felt very different than the characters they've played in the past. I feel like Troy Kotzer was a little overrated as a choice. I feel it was more that he got chosen because he was deaf and not because he was particularly great. I actually preferred the brother in that movie. I think he had an amazing monologue that was not spoken, but still just gave you all the feels. Super, super great. But I think Cody Smith McPhee was really interesting and very subtle in Power of the Dog. I feel like it's going to be... I think Kieran Hines will get it. Cody Smith McPhee is the outside choice and probably who I would choose. J.K. Simmons was just kind of playing J.K. Simmons again, which isn't a bad thing. But he could also take one too, but he's already won one. I don't think he needs it. Leading actress: Jessica Chastain, Eyes of Tammy Faye, Olivia Colman, Lost Daughters, Penelope Cruz, Parallel Mothers, Nicole Kidman, Being the Ricardos, Kristen Stewart Spencer. This is a very, very tough category. Almost all of these people gave really good performances. I didn't care for Being the Ricardos that much, but Nicole Kidman did give a very, very good, convincing performance as Lucy Arnaz. Jessica Chastain's the only one I kind of push out. Her performance gets a little bit too much into caricature territory. I don't think she dissolved into the role as well as she could have, which I mentioned that earlier, which is also my thing I would have to say about Will Smith as well. I feel like he kept jostling between caricature and impression, and I don't think I can see why people like that performance. It didn't really do it for me. But Olivia Colman, I feel like in any other year would be the shoo-in. She was great in that movie, even if I feel like The Lost Daughter was a little bit of a mess of a film, but she was very, very good in it. Penelope Cruz was also excellent, and Kristen Stewart's another one where it was like she kept jostling between like, this is a very good performance, and I'm like, you're not really being Diana, you're just being an impression of Diana, or a caricature of Diana. But it was one of her better performances, don't get me wrong. I would have to say, it's hard to say. I'm guessing it's probably it's like Nicole Kidman is the Oscar choice. I think Olivia Colman gave the best performance. I think Penelope Cruz would be the backup for that. Although, like I said, Kristen Stewart, that was overall a good performance, and one I think the Academy would appreciate. So I feel like it's Nicole Kidman, Kristen Stewart second. I feel like it should go to Penelope Cruz or Olivia Colman, but I don't know if they'll get it. My guess is Nicole Kidman. Supporting role: Jessie Buckley, The Lost Daughter, and Ariana DeBose. West Side Story: Judi Dench, Belfast, Kirsten Dunst, Power of the Dog, Ingenue Ellis for King Richard. Ingenue Ellis was good, but not an amazing performance, not even her best performance. She was amazing in Beasts of the Southern Wild. Jessie Buckley was really good in The Lost Daughter, but I don't think it's going to go to her. Ariana DeBose is the one person who should not be on this list. I think that while she played the big fun part of West Side Story well, I feel like the rest of the movie, when she needed to do anything serious, she came off as a little underwhelming and a little wooden. So I don't think she should deserve to be on here at all. But I still think it's going to go to Judi Dench again. Delightful little performance as Grandma in Belfast. Super, super fun. I think she'll take it. Kirsten Dunst was also really, really good. I think she's the outside choice. I don't think it'll go to Jessie Buckley. I don't think it'll go to Ingenue Ellis. I think it'll be Judi Dench or Kirsten Dunst. But, this is also other than Ariana DeBose, that's a tough category as well. Okay, here's one that I definitely have opinions about. Animated feature film. You have Encanto, Flea, Luca, Mitchells vs. the Machines, and Raya and the Last Dragon. Raya and the Last Dragon and Luca were both very, very fun. Neither of them are going to get it. Enjoyed both of those movies a lot. They are both good movies in their own right, but they are not up to the level of the other ones. Now, as far as the other three, Encanto is the obvious pick. That is what I think will win. It is very much the Oscar, what they choose. Mitchell's vs. the Machine is actually my favorite on the list. I recognize Encanto is a little bit more dramatically broad, but Mitchell's vs. the Machines did stuff with animation that no one else has done up to this point, or at least on this scale or this well. It tells a pretty straightforward story, but it is very well done. That's my personal pick, or that's my personal favorite one. But the movie I feel like actually deserves it is Flea. Flea as a documentary that is completely animated and tells this story very, very well in a short amount of time is excellent. That's the one. It does interesting things with the animation. I believe that is the one that should win. I think it's going to be Encanto. My favorite one was Mitchell's. The one I think should win is Flea. Seriously, definitely watch Flea if you get a chance. It's on Hulu. Cinematography. This one's tough. Dune, Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, Tragedy of Macbeth, West Side Story. In my heart, I want this to go to Dune. I've been a big fan of Dune, and I love what they did with it. But if you're talking just pure, interesting cinematography, this one's going to be tough. Tragedy of Macbeth was good. I would personally take that one off the list just because there was some awkwardness with how it shot and how it was staged. But it was good. I do recommend that movie. But I don't think West Side Story is a maybe. I do like how they stylistically matched the original film. Nightmare Alley was just impeccably well shot, and especially using all the darkness that movie has, like physically dark sequences, really well done. Power of the Dog was also impeccable, also nailed its style. This one is really tough and hard to say. Tragedy of Macbeth was the most interesting. Dune was my personal favorite. I feel like this could be an outside one for Nightmare Alley, though. It's like my personal pick. I'd have to say Dune. If I had to guess, I'd say it's going to be Power of the Dog. I think Power of the Dog will take it, but it's hard to say. Literally any of those could win and be good. Another tough one, costume design, Cruella, Cyrano, Dune, Nightmare Alley, and West Side Story. Personally, I think it should go to Dune or Cruella. Dune totally nailed the costuming. I think it'll probably go to Dune, with Cruella being the outside choice. Nightmare Alley was really cool. West Side Story was perfect for what it was, and Cyrano was perfect for what it was, but Dune's costuming and design is just next level. Directing, Belfast, Kenneth Branagh, Drive My Car, Ryusuke Hamaguchi, Licorice Pizza, Paul Thomas Anderson, Power of the Dog, Jane Campion. I think this one will probably go to Kenneth Branagh for Belfast. I don't think he has won yet, but he definitely deserves it, and this was a very, very well-made movie top to bottom. My only complaint with the direction is sometimes the choices stylistically for how they shot it were a little bit indifferent. Like, he did these really, really cool modern style shots, and then a lot of like old school flat tableau style shots that kind of felt tonally a bit of a mishmash. But other than that, it was an amazingly well-directed movie. Drive My Car is kind of the second pick there, because that movie only worked because they had a director who knew what they were doing with it. I think it'll go to one of those two, although Power of the Dog being the outside pick. West Side Story, Steven Spielberg doesn't need it. That was just exactly what it needed to be, but didn't do anything like crazy special. And Licorice Pizza was weird. I think that movie was saved that movie was good because of the editing, not because of the direction. Documentary, haven't seen all of these yet, but I've seen Flea and Summer of Soul are the only two that I've seen, but I've got to give it to Flea. Flea is amazing. Documentary short, haven't seen any of the shorts this year. That's one of the few things I didn't get to. Film editing, Don't Look Up, Dune, King Richard, Power of the Dog, Tick, Tick, Boom. It's like, Don't Look Up was really interesting edited. I like that a lot. Dune is great for what it is. King Richard was good. Power of the Dog and Tick, Tick, Boom, all of those had pretty solid editing. I think it'll probably go to Don't Look Up, just because Don't Look Up did so many interesting, chaotic things with its editing that I felt like added to the movie that I think it'll probably take it. That I'll think it will be the one category that it'll get anything for. Though I would be happy with any of these to win. I would probably say Dune. Jim to Places? Okay, be there in a second. Let me stop this. All right, where were we? Yeah, I got pulled to do wedding things, but yeah, now I'm back. Anyway, film editing. Yeah, it could go to any of those. I want it to be Dune. I feel like Dune should win most things, but I think Tick, Tick, Boom is the outside choice, and Don't Look Up had some really interesting, chaotic editing that I really enjoyed, and I think very well could take it. International feature film, Drive My Car, Flea, Hand of God, Lunana, A Yak in the Classroom, and The Worst Person in the World. I've only seen the first three, and of those three, I feel like Drive My Car, I think, will take it, mostly just because it is a movie about acting and things like that, but I really feel like it should be Flea. Flea is really something special, and that is my personal choice. I think it'll go to Drive My Car, though I have been hearing good things about Worst Person in the World. I have not gotten a chance to see it yet. All right, makeup and hairstyling. Coming to America, Cruella, Dune, Eyes of Tammy Faye, and House of Gucci. It's not going to go to House of Gucci, although House of Gucci's is good, but it's very straightforward, nothing special. I feel like, once again, my choice is Dune. Cruella is my second choice. Eyes of Tammy Faye's is really impressive, and it's a transformational type of makeup and hairstyling that the Academy really likes, but for me personally, I definitely think it should go to Dune, but I think Cruella could be an upset, and I feel like the Oscar choice is Eyes of Tammy Faye. Music, Don't Look Up, Dune, Encanto, Parallel Mothers, Power of the Dog. Power of the Dog had a very nice, like, low-key musical score that I really enjoyed, but the other ones have much more interesting ones. Parallel Mothers is a little all over the place. It kind of makes the movie feel more dramatic than it actually is in some bad ways at points, but an interesting one. But it's like, I feel like Encanto is the easy choice. Music in that was really fun, even if it wasn't my favorite. I feel like that's the easy choice, but Hans Zimmer's score in Dune was really great. Don't Look Up had some good stuff, but it's like, my personal choice is Dune. I feel like it's going to go to Encanto. Music, original song. This one's going to be tough too. Be Alive from King Richard, Dos Oruguitas from Encanto, Down to Joy from Belfast, No Time to Die from No Time to Die, and Somehow You Do from 4 Good Days. The only one I haven't heard is Somehow You Do. I feel like it's going to go to Dos Oruguitas because Encanto is very much the zeitgeist music animated film right now, so I feel like that's going to take it. Be Alive didn't really make a big, like, impression on me when I saw King Richard, so I don't think it's going to be that. Down to Joy, same thing. As much as I love Belfast, and the music in the score in that film is great. I'm surprised it didn't get nominated for score, but it is a good song. No Time to Die is great, but it does just kind of feel like a Bond song. It doesn't do anything that Skyfall didn't do better, but I feel like Dos Oruguitas is probably going to take it. Okay, the big one. Best Picture, Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, West Side Story. I'm going to stay with a few that shouldn't be on this list. I'm going to start with that. Don't Look Up was an interesting movie, but overall is just kind of a mess. Definitely shouldn't even be on this list. Coda was good, but it's a very, very good made-for-TV movie. This would not have gotten nominated in literally any year. It's very fun, and I do recommend it. It is on Apple Plus, but it's not going to win Best Picture. Licorice Pizza was interesting. It was fun. I liked it. There's some ethical things to talk about because it is an age gap romance, even if it is the woman is older. Definitely some weirdness there. And I think West Side Story, as much as I personally loved it, I don't think it was that good. Of the movies that I feel like could have been on this list, Tragedy of Macbeth was interesting. I don't know if it necessarily belonged on this list. What did I just watch? It was something from one of the other ones. Flea, I feel like, should have been on there. Man, what did I watch? I think it was for one of the performances. Oh my God, which one was it that I was like, oh, this could have been on here? I mean, Tick, Tick, Boom could have been nominated, and I don't think it was. Yeah, I don't remember what I just watched that I was like, oh, this could have been on here. I'm surprised it wasn't nominated. But Cyrano, I definitely feel like could have gotten a nomination. I'm honestly surprised it didn't. It's very good for what it is. Definitely better than a couple of things on this list. And then the other big one for me personally is the fact that 9 Days, once again, I've said this more than once, but 9 Days is my favorite movie of last year, and it didn't get nominated for everything, and I don't understand. The only thing I can think of is that literally no one saw it, and they really should. But of the list that is here, Nightmare Alley is no, King Richard no, Licorice Pizza no. King Richard's a very straightforward sports movie. Nightmare Alley is a really interesting character study, but it's very long-winded and kind of takes a little bit too long to get where it's going. My personal pick is Dune. I thought Dune was great, but I feel like because Dune was part one, we need to wait to see how that feels as a whole. Like the way Lord of the Rings won most of its awards for Return of the King, I think Dune will win most of its awards when it is completed, if they pull it off. I feel like, honestly, Drive My Car is probably the Oscar pick. It's a very good movie. It's long, but it doesn't feel long for most of it. It's literally not until like the last 15 minutes where I'm like, this is running too long. But Drive My Car, I think, is the Oscar pick, or Power of the Dog. My personal pick is, I want to say Dune, but I feel like Belfast is my actual pick because I'm waiting for Dune. But Drive My Car and Power of the Dog are the more likely candidates. Belfast is my personal pick. Production design. This one for me is easy. It's Dune. Dune's production design, top to bottom, was amazing. But it literally could be any of these. All of these were incredibly well handled as far as their production. Dune, once again, I have a soft spot for that. That's my pick, but it literally could be any of these. If I had to guess, I'd probably say it's really hard with this particular one. I almost want to say Dune for production design, but literally any of these could win it. All of them are incredibly well produced, but my pick, and I think the Oscar pick, is Dune. West Side Story maybe the outside because it's old school movie making, but then they might be like, you remade a classic, so that might not win anything. Short film animated, the only one I've seen is Robin Robin. Robin Robin is delightful. It's definitely worth a watch, but I couldn't give you a choice on any of these. Same thing with short live action. Haven't seen any of them. I know it's silly, but yeah. Sound. This one for me is a no question. It's Dune. Dune should win this. Dune, I think, will win this. The sound of that movie is great. Belfast had its moments. Power of the Dog had a really nice, quiet atmosphere that was really cool. But, and then West Side Story's handling of the musical aspects of it was good. But Dune had really, really great sound, top to bottom, mixing and editing. So Dune is the choice there. Visual effects, once again, I'm going to say Dune, but it could go to a lot of these. Free Guys was fun, but they're very, very cartoony. So usually with visual effects, they like to go for the more realistic stuff, which I think it'll go to Dune. Same thing with Shang-Chi, very well integrated, very fun, but it also felt a little plasticky at times, but that's because there was so much of it, especially at the end. Spider-Man No Way Home, same thing. A lot of really, really fun special effects, but nothing to really write home about. No Time to Die, still haven't seen it. It's actually the only major thing on this list that's gotten nominated that I haven't seen. But my pick is still Dune. I think Dune's going to take it. Writing, adapted screenplay, Coda, Drive My Car, Dune, Lost Daughter, Power of the Dog. This one's tough. I feel like it's going to go to Drive My Car. The writing in that film is incredibly good. It's a really, really cool character study of a character study, which is one of those things you only understand if you see it. I don't want to say too much, but it is definitely something to check out. Just be ready for the long haul because it's almost 3 hours long. Lost Daughter, I don't even know why this is nominated. That movie was it was an interesting movie and the performances were good, but it was just kind of a mess. We got to the end of it and was like, where is this going? What the hell happened? But yeah, it's you spend most of the movie going, where is this going with, and they don't reveal everything until literally the last 5 minutes, and it's not satisfying. But yeah, it definitely shouldn't be on there. But I would go for Drive My Car as my guess. Dune is my personal choice. I feel like they did a great job with that. Power of the Dog was also very good. But yeah, Dune, my choice. Drive My Car, I feel like will win. And then finally, writing original screenplay. I'm doing this because my battery is dying, so I'm moving super fast. Original screenplay, Belfast, Don't Look Up, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Worst Person in the World. Still haven't seen Worst Person in the World, but I have heard very, very good things about that. Belfast is good. I do feel like Kenneth Branagh, deserves a lot of praise. Like, he gets nominated a lot, but he rarely wins. And Belfast really was incredible, and I feel like he should take it for this. Licorice Pizza was a kind of a meandering mess of a screenplay, though it worked. I don't think it should win. King Richard, same thing. It's okay. It's a sports movie. It's a very good sports movie, but any other year it wouldn't have gotten nominated. And Don't Look Up has some fun stuff in it, but it's so on the nose for me personally that I don't think it should win. I think it might because the Academy really, really likes Adam McKay for some reason. A lot of his stuff gets nominated, and apparently is very charismatic. So, and it is the perfect movie for a bunch of rich, elite liberals to jerk themselves off to. But it's like it's a good for what it is, but it's not amazing. I think it should go to Belfast personally. Belfast was so good. Like I said, other than a little bit of some weird stuff with the direction as far as the cinematography goes, but other than that, it is impeccable. It is very good. Really enjoyed Belfast. That is my choice. I think it might go to Don't Look Up, just because the subject matter is perfect for a win. So I'm going to see if I can go through this as much, through the picks again quick before my battery dies. But actor in a leading role, I feel like it could go to Denzel Washington, but my pick, and I think who will win, is Cumberbatch with Andrew Garfield on the outside. Will Smith he's already won the SAG Award, I believe, and he won the Golden Globe, but I think it should go to one of those two instead. I was not super impressed with Will Smith's performance, though it was very good. Actor in a supporting role, Ciarán Hinds is my choice, and I think Ciarán Hinds will take it, with Jesse Plemons or Cody Smith-McPhee being the outside. I think Cody Smith-McPhee more than Jesse Plemons. Actress in a leading role. I think it's going to go to Nicole Kidman, but I feel like Olivia Colman or Penelope Cruz should win, but Olivia Colman doesn't need to. So I'm saying Penelope Cruz should. Nicole Kidman probably will, although Kristen Stewart also is, for the same reasons that Nicole Kidman could take it. Actress in a supporting, Ariana DeBose doesn't deserve to be there. I think it'll be Judi Dench. I think Kirsten Dunst is or Jessie Buckley are the outside, but Judi Dench is my pick and who I think will win. Animated feature film, Encanto will win. Mitchells vs. the Machine was my favorite. Flea should win. Cinematography, my choice is Dune. I feel like it could go to any of those. I feel like it might go to West Side Story now that we've gone back on it, but Tragedy of Macbeth is the most interesting. So my pick is Dune. West Side Story will win. Tragedy of Macbeth on the outside. Costume design, my pick is Dune. I feel like Dune will actually win it, Cruella being the outside choice. Directing, I personally would say Belfast for me personally, even with some of the weirdness of it, but Drive My Car I think will win. That's incredibly well directed, but it's hard to say. It's also a foreign film, so who knows how much of the Academy even saw it. Which, that's the other thing. There's this whole thing with how the Academy doesn't see most of the movies before voting, and I finally sat down and tried to watch them all this year, and it is like a second full-time job just to do that, so I totally understand. Documentary, I've only seen Flea and Summer of Soul, but it should definitely go to Flea. Documentary, short, haven't seen any of them. Film editing, Don't Look Up, I feel like Dune should get it. I think Don't Look Up will. International feature film, I think Flea should get it. I think it's going to go to Drive My Car. Makeup and hairstyling, Dune should get it. I think Dune will get it. Though Eyes of Tammy Faye also could very well get it, and Cruella is the outside choice. Music, score, I think Dune should get it. I think it's going to go to Encanto. Music original song, I think it's Dos Oruguitas really should get it, and I think it will. That is a really heart-wrenching song at that point. Best picture, I think Drive My Car or Power of the Dog will take it. I think Belfast kind of should, but any of those three options would be great. I don't think Dune should get it yet. I think it will later if they can keep this momentum going. Production design, it should go to Dune. I think it'll go to Dune. Short film, haven't seen them. Sound, I think Dune will get it. West Side Story might, but Dune is amazing, has amazing sound. I think Dune will take it. That's my personal pick. Visual effects, same thing. I think Dune should get it, and I think Dune will get it, with Spider-Man maybe being the outside choice just because that's got momentum right now. But yeah, definitely should go to Dune. Writing adapted screenplay, I kind of liked Dune. I think it'll go to Drive My Car. It could go to Power of the Dog as well. I don't think it should go to Lost Daughter. And then finally, writing original screenplay. I feel like it should go to Belfast. I think Don't Look Up will take it. I don't think it should, but I think Belfast should win. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So anyway, really quick wrap up. So those were my personal picks for what I think will win and what could win, and what I think should win. Yeah, so that being said, I'm James. This is Arguing Semantics. I need to go do some drinking. Talk to you later.
Like and subscribe.